Sofia's $5 a day lesson. Sofia was a 19-year-old college student living in Melbourne, Australia. She had recently moved out of her parents' home to live closer to campus. At first, it felt like freedom, no one to tell her when to wake up, what to eat, or how to spend her time. But with that freedom came something she wasn't ready for: managing her own money. Her parents gave her a small monthly allowance to cover essentials, rent, groceries, and transportation. She also worked part-time at a bookstore, which added a little extra cash. But somehow, no matter how much she earned, her bank account seemed to hit zero before the end of the month. One rainy Friday afternoon, Sofia was sitting at a cafe with her friend Mia. She ordered her usual caramel latte and a slice of cheesecake, even though she knew she had only $60 left to last the next 10 days. "Mia, you've been stressing about money all week, maybe you should stop buying coffee every day." Sofia, laughing, "It's just coffee, Mia. That's not the problem." "Mia, you spend $6 on coffee 5 days a week. That's $30 a week, $120 a month. That's definitely a problem." Sofia rolled her eyes but couldn't deny the math. Later that night, she sat in her tiny apartment, scrolling through budgeting tips online. That's when she stumbled upon a simple rule: save $5 a day, and you'll have over $1,800 in a year. At first, it sounded almost too simple, almost silly. $5 was what she'd spend without thinking: a sandwich, a bus ticket, or a random snack from the vending machine. How could such a small amount make a difference? But she kept thinking about it. If she'd started this last year, she could have bought herself a new phone or even taken a short trip. The next morning, Sofia decided to try. She pulled out an empty glass jar from her kitchen and wrote "Dream Fund" on a piece of paper, taping it to the front. From that day on, she promised herself, every single day, she would put exactly $5 into the jar, no excuses. The first week was easy. She brewed coffee at home instead of buying it from the cafe. She started meal prepping her lunches on Sundays. But by the second week, temptation struck. On a hot Wednesday afternoon, she passed by her favorite bubble tea shop. She could almost taste the sweet milk tea and chewy tapioca pearls. She reached into her bag for her wallet, then stopped. "Sofia, thinking, if I buy this, that's today's $5 gone. Do I want bubble tea, or my dream?" She walked away without buying it. It was a small victory, but it made her feel powerful, like she was finally in control. Months passed, and her jar began to fill. Some days she would put in a $5 note, other days coins she collected from change. She also started tracking her spending on a free budgeting app, just to see where her money was really going. 6 months later, on a sunny Saturday morning, Sofia emptied the jar onto her bed. She counted the bills and coins: $930. She stared at the pile, almost in disbelief. That week, her old laptop suddenly stopped working. In the past, she would have panicked and called her parents for help. But this time, she walked into an electronics store and bought herself a new laptop, paid in full, without touching her bank account savings. That night, as she sat at her desk setting up her new laptop, she looked over at her now empty jar. It wasn't just the money that mattered, it was the discipline, the habit, the proof that she could stick to something long term. She realized saving money wasn't about being rich. It was about building small, consistent habits that add up over time. And if she could do this with $5, she could do it with anything in life: learning a skill, exercising, or chasing a bigger dream. From then on, Sofia kept her dream fund jar, even when she had more money in the bank. Because every time she dropped in a $5 note, she remembered that the biggest changes in life start with the smallest steps. If you think saving money is impossible, maybe you just haven't started small enough.